G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Star Citizen 3.19.1 video. So today I figured I'd cover some solo prospector mining. It's one of my favourite things to do in the game. It's quite a good money maker as well. But before we get to that, I do want to talk a little bit about the last video released, which was about the Vulture, how to get a free Vulture and then to unlock the next level of salvage missions. So you can get up to the 30k missions and start salvaging the loot from those. That video to date has 5,100 views, 153 likes and 35 comments. I've actually gained a decent number of subscribers. We're now over 100 subscribers, well on our way to 200. So hopefully we can make that and push on to 500 from there. So I'd just like to say thanks to everyone who has clicked on the video, watched, liked, left a comment and subscribed. Thank you very much. It means a whole lot to my little channel, that amount of growth in such a short amount of time. But on to the subject at hand. We're going to talk about mining today, solo mining in the Prospector. So we're going to cover stuff like the best kind of equipment to use, at least in my opinion, how to find deposits in space and on planets. We're going to cover the charts from RedMonstergaming. They will cover all sorts of details. They're actually really awesome. I will link his website in the description. Go and check it out. We're going to cover selling unrefined ore versus refined ore, and as a little tidbit for you guys, how to replace the stock ore bags with mole bags even when you don't own a mole. The first chart you can see there is your mining lasers. You've got details such as the price, the size, optimum range, everything you need to know to inform your decision based on how you want to mine and also where to get them from. So this second chart is the mining modules. Again, similar to the first one, it's got your prices, whether it's a passive or an active module. So active modules having a certain number of uses, passive being unlimited use. The pros and cons of each one, locations where you can get them from, and that's about it. And prices, if I didn't mention that already. This next one is your ore percentage by location, and this is in space. Alright, so it will tell you the asteroid type you're looking for. So if you're looking for Quantanium, you're going to be looking like in the Aaron Halo, where it's got a 2% chance of spawning. If you're looking for gold, the best chance of that spawning is around Arc LSA. It's like 6.7% chance. And so on and so forth. So you can use this chart to determine the best place for you to mine, depending on what you want to get your hands on. So the next chart is the ore percentage by location on the surface of planets. So for stuff like Quantanium, its best place to find that is Celen. If you're looking for Agricium, the best place for that is Eta. If you happen to be looking for Beryl, I don't know why you would, but go to Cleo. So again, you'd use this to determine exactly what you're looking for and where you want to go and look for it. And this next chart is the mineral chance by deposit type. So this is again on planets and asteroids. So again, you would use this information to determine what kind of asteroid you're looking for, or what kind of planet you're looking for. Sorry, not planet, deposit you're looking for on the planet, so that you can decide what you're wanting. So say for example, you're wanting Quantanium. You're looking for Quantanium's low chance of getting that anyway. So if you were looking for gold, for example, okay, you're looking for an asteroid that's an M-type that has a signature of 1850. Now that's in space. If you're looking for gold on planets, you're looking for a couple of different kinds of deposits. Generally, you're going to be wanting to find obsidian or igneous rocks. Igneous having an RS signature of 1950, and obsidian having an RS signature of 1790. Now, obviously, thing to note with that, the RS signatures, the higher the multiple of that original number, the more of that asteroid or deposit there is in that area. Okay, so if you're looking at 1950 times 2, is 3,900, so 3,900, and you know you've probably got 2 igneous deposits that have a medium chance of having gold. I mean, they're more likely to have hephaestonite or the other ones above it, but there's always a chance of there being gold there, right? And this last one is just the prices. So obviously Quantanium is the most profitable ore, but also the rarest ore. Then you got gold, terranite, bexlite, so on and so forth down the list. Okay, so now we've covered that sort of stuff. I've very briefly covered how you would look for deposits on the surface of planets and in space. As in, when I say look for, so what you would generally do is you get to the surface of a planet, and I will show this later, and in space, and you hit tab to activate your scanner, and you're going to want to then put your mouse over each of the little boxes that pop up. You're going to be looking to see what the RS is and go from there. So as I mentioned, with gold, and you're looking at an M-class asteroid that's 1850 or higher, you know there's a medium chance of there being gold there. So like 1850, so 3700, 5500, 7400, and so on. They're all multiples of 1850. And that will help you to determine what asteroid to go to. The caveat I will give you for that, though, with mining, is the best thing to do with mining is just to go and mine, right? Mine what's closest, what's fastest, and fill your cargo with hopefully tier 1 and tier 2 stuff. The other stuff, the more expensive stuff like the gold and the Quantanium, all that will eventually trickle in and just adds to your value. The best way is, yeah, like I said, just to mine what you can find. So the other thing I mentioned that I would cover in this video, and it's coming up very shortly, is how to exchange the bags on an Argo mole for the bags on a Prospector. So here I am. I have taken a slightly shady mission to salvage an Argo mole. I didn't come here to actually salvage the mole. I came here to salvage the bags off of the mole and replace the ones in my Prospector. So you can find these missions. These are the 10k personal salvage missions that you can find. You can also, if you've unlocked them, get the 20k legal missions, which will have a mole. They are more expensive, though they do tend to show up a little bit more often than these slightly dodgy ones. So the trick here obviously is to bring your tractor beam. Use your tractor beam to remove 4 of the ore bags from the mole. Remove the 4 ore bags from your Prospector and replace them. It really is that simple. They're direct swap. There's no size difference, and it's just like every other one. Tractor it in, get it into the right spot, and Bob's your uncle. You've now got a 48 SCU Prospector. This will definitely help increase your profit margin and decrease the amount of trips you need to make back and forth between your chosen mining location and your refinery station, if you're going to refine them. If you're not going to refine them and you're just going to sell them, then that can generally be done at places like Port Olisar or anywhere that has a refinery as well. So that about covers how to do that part. It's actually really simple, really easy. Only costs you 10k. Well worth spending the money, in my opinion. So what we're going to go over next is how to actually mine on the planet itself. So we're going to make a quick trip to Daymar, and we are going to find some stuff to mine now that we've got our bigger Prospector bags on board, and go from there. And you can see I started with 200,000 Alpha UEC there. So using that 200,000 as our goal, we'll see how much I can make. As I mentioned, what you do is you fly down to the surface of the planet, you hit tab to find a target, you fly into that target, and start mining. It's pretty straightforward. So I mentioned I would talk about loadouts. So what you can see me using here is my favorite loadout, which is the Hofstadter Laser 1 and the Riga C3. Now, the obvious reasons for that, the Hofstadter has a good low power setting, being 5%, whereas most others are 25 or higher, 10% or higher, sorry. This one gives you a decent power bonus of 15%. Your optimal charge window is a bit less. Sorry, that's the Riga C3 module gives you your laser power, slight buff on that. It does reduce the optimal charge window, but that's fine. It's not a huge deal. It's just a bit of skill involved to crack it. With this sort of setup, you can crack pretty much any rock you can see. Like you see, this one's hard, and I'm still getting through it, right? There are some you'll still run across that you can't crack, but that's okay. If you're looking for a really high power setup, you're looking at stuff like the Helix 1 and the Riga C3 again. If you're looking for a great all-rounder that gives you decent power, not too much instability, your optimal window isn't too small, you're looking at something like the Helix 1 or 2 and an XTR XL. Alright, so we're back at CRUL1 real quick, just to show you how much you could get for selling this stuff just as unrefined material, and how you go about actually refining that material. So I've got a couple of work orders already processing. So all you do is you go into the terminal, you select your ship, you select the type you want. Now keep note of the fact that you've got, with the one I use, which is the Ferron Exchange, takes the longest. However, it's a moderate cost with a high yield. So you've got to factor that in. Do you want it quick with a slightly lesser yield? Or are you willing to wait to get that higher yield and take a little bit longer? Or you can go high yield, high cost, high speed. So fast, but costs more, and you get a decent yield. It's entirely up to you on what you want to do. Alright, so here we are. We're in space this time. Right around CRUL1. I came out here to see what was out here. I figured, the trip to Daymar between Daymar and here isn't too bad, but if I can find an asteroid out here that's worth mining, then I'll give it a crack. You can see I'm kind of looking for anything that's 1850 or plus, because that's obviously gold. I'm looking for M-class asteroids. And that's it. So you just come in here, and much like being on the planet, you just mine away. This one, hephaestonite and aluminium, not quite the gold I was looking for, and it's not always going to be. So like I said, you fill it up with what's available, what's fast, and will make you money. Right, so after all that mining, I think I did about 6 trips. So we're going to go over how much money I actually made. So keeping in mind, 200,000 was the starting mark. 280,000 was the starting mark. Ignore the 1 million in front of that. That came from elsewhere. So our first run netted us a grand total of about 10,000. This is the second run selling it. Now keep in mind, I couldn't fit all of the ore that I had refined onto my Corsair. It's just not big enough, so with a bigger ship you do a little bit better. So we started off with 1.29, we're now at 1.3, so there's another 10,000. Another 30k. That's another 13. The other thing to keep in mind is obviously I did these to run overnight, so you do have to factor that in terms of, you know, profit per hour, I guess, if that's what you're really interested in. This was the third. Yes, this was the third cargo run, or third lot that I could fit onto my Corsair. Yep, when I get it right, I'll click on the Corsair, and then you'll actually see what I've got. This one had a bit of everything, a bit of titanium, a bit of gold. So we started off at 1.3. We're going to move to 1.35. .36. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the quickest process. So that leads me to the next topic we're going to cover, which is it actually better to refine and go and sell, or is it better to just sell the raw ore and take that little bit of a loss for the benefit of having increased speed and being able to do more runs? So I think I checked this one out, which had the gold in it. This would have netted me about 20k, and it took me maybe, I wouldn't have to say half an hour, maybe 15 minutes all told to get around, to get the ore, and to go back to the station. So with that in mind, what I'd actually suggest, if you're looking purely from a profit per hour point of view, your best bet is to simply go out, mine the closest thing you can find, that's the fastest thing to mine, that's the closest to your selling point, take it back and sell the raw ore. That's going to make you the most money. So that about covers it for this one. Hopefully you all learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this. If you did like what I've done here, feel free to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and while you're there, hit that bell notification icon to let YouTube know that you want to know when I release something new. And lastly, if you have any ideas of videos you want to see in the future, chuck it down in the comments below. Let me know if you've got great mining setups that you love. Let me know if there's anything you think I've missed. Go down to the comment section and let me know. Otherwise, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.